haven't vlogged in like forever. It's been a crazy, crazy long time. And I've basically been busy with a lot of stuff like wedding planning and being on films and everything. So I wanted to talk about like being a first AD because now that I'm focused and I know what I want to do and I'm not fucking around with doing the PA thing anymore, which I'll get to, a little bit later on why I still PA, but I'm a first AD, and let's just go through what a first AD does. So, basically, a first AD schedules a movie. They break down a script, and breaking down a script means scene by scene, taking each scene, what actors are needed, what props are needed, are there special effects, is there a certain type of makeup, is it just beauty makeup, is it going to be dirtying makeup, is it going to be, are there animals in the scene, are we at a certain location, does it require, certain safety parameters to be set up, so you're taking it scene by scene. So, outside of a schedule, you have another schedule, which are people schedules. So you have a schedule as in a shooting schedule, and then you have your actor schedules. You have such and such actor is available only on Saturdays and Sundays, so we need to make sure his scenes are all done on these 2 days or whatever. So you have to juggle, I feel like in the indie world, you're doing more of that with sorry, my dog is, chilling over here. So you have to do more of, the juggling with the actor's schedule. Because I feel like being a first AD in the big budget world, you'd have, 15 different people trying to help you figure out who's available when or whatever, right? So, outside of prep work, and I feel like it takes a good amount of days for prep work, and I feel like a lot of people who are hiring first ADs for their indie projects are like, hey, we'll just, have some crazy student who doesn't know what they're doing, and they'll be the first AD, and they'll run the set, and they'll do the schedule, and they're trying not to pay first ADs, for prep work, and that's just it takes hours to break it down a script. I don't care if it's 10 pages or 25 pages or 90 pages, it all takes a lot of time, a lot of logistical thinking, and a lot of shit that needs to be done, and it just takes time, and people are just not being compensated, in the indie world, and it's super frustrating, but outside of that, when, we get to call sheets. Now, usually a second AD does call sheets. In my world, since I don't have a first AD, and plus I'm in the indie world, I'm doing call sheets. I feel like maybe it's just because I'm a little bit more, I don't know, neat freak or whatever. I don't want to say I'm OCD because I don't want to be like, oh, it's OCD, like the trend, you know what I mean? So, making a call sheet, I have to make sure it's neat, it looks great, everything's aligned, it looks visually, aesthetically pleasing, and not like a crazy fucking mess, because I've seen some crazy call sheets, and I'm like, what the F is this? Never in the big budget world. Obviously, you have someone that's on that, for the day, or at least half a day. The second AD is, while the first AD is running set, the second AD is there doing the call sheet and making sure it's done, by wrap. So, in the indie world, where I don't have a second AD, or even if I did have a second AD, they wouldn't have the time to do, the call sheet. We wrap, I go right into doing a call sheet, especially if we have a set day after, the day we just shot. So if we have back-to-back shooting days. So, we have call sheets. And then, now we finally get to set day. So, what happens on a set day? You gotta make sure people are, they're, setting people's call times is for, I said the call sheet, but then you're actually kind of scheduling people's call times, what time everyone needs to be there, making sure that everything is being done at the same time, so you're not waiting on, one department ever, and you don't ever want that to happen. Hair and makeup's happening, while G&E is happening, lighting and camera setup is happening at the same time that makeup and actors are getting ready and whatever. So, I feel like breaking down a schedule and doing a shooting schedule and doing the actor schedule and call times and just all the prep work that, as soon as you step on set, it's all like a puzzle piece, and you need a very, very logistical mind to do and make that happen. And that's probably why I like being a first AD, because it's a really complex puzzle that involves a lot of people, which is really, really cool. So when you're on set, you're getting people out of breakfast, making sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're making sure people are staying on track. There's a shot list. Hopefully there's a shot list, because some directors don't have shot lists. I don't know why. But when you're a first AD, you want to push to make sure that director has a shot list, because you don't want to sit in there on the day when you're, ready to roll or ready to shoot, like, oh, what are we doing? You never want to, you never want to be the person, especially the first AD. You always have to know what's going on. You have to know why people are waiting. Why are we not shooting right now when we could be shooting? Like, I get this question all the time. Hey, Amber, what are we waiting for? And I have an answer. Like, oh, okay, well, sound needs 2 minutes to set up this mic. Or, we're waiting on makeup's doing touch-ups. Or we're waiting on an actor getting back from a bathroom break or something. You always need to know what's going on. But you want to make sure that, these things, you're never waiting for one thing. But it happens, what can you do? In the big budget world, I'm still a set PA, because I still like to see how other ADs run their sets and what they do, to get through the day and how they handle everything. So for a moment, I was like, you know what, fuck being a PA. I'm not doing this. It's a waste of my time. But I learned a lot being a PA. So I don't want to say being a PA, fuck that. I think everyone needs to be a PA at least a few months or maybe a good year before you start jumping into anything else, just to kind of get a good feel for the set, feel for how things run, especially on big sets, not just like these little indie shits that's like, okay, you're going to be a grip and you're going to be a camera assistant and you're going to be you're going to be crafty, you're all the same person. Like, no, that's not how it really fucking works in the film industry. I'm sorry, I'm like swearing, but it's just really frustrating when you have these indie shoots and it's like, hey, you're going to be a first AD and you're going to be my scripty. No, that's not how it works. You need someone separate to be scripty and someone to be an AD. But, budgets, I get it. People don't, they don't have a lot of money, but they're not paying anyone anyway, so whatever. I don't know. Yeah, there's just some shoots where they're not paying anybody, but they can't hire another person to be scripty. It doesn't make any sense. It's so frustrating. After being a PA for so long, I was like, you know what? Gotta go after this whole AD thing. So luckily for me, working with people, they're like, hey, my friend Justin, thank God for him, because he's the one that kind of gave me a chance, and he was like, you should be the AD on my short, blah blah blah, and it just all rolled from there, just snowballed from there, and it was great. And I've been doing it consistently, not like every day, but I've had like 2 or 3 projects a month, which is, enough with everything else I have going on. You just have to just go for it and just try it, and it's trial and error. But some people think that being a first AD is gonna be the pathway to becoming a director, and it's actually funny. That's not actually the path you want to take. But a first AD I knew and I worked with recently, I think just recently, he was a first AD on all these episodes of the TV show I was working on. And then the last episode, they let him be the director, or he was director of the episode, and I was like, what? I thought that was really cool. So sometimes it does lead to being a director. I don't know. I guess what I should add about being an AD on set, it's like people aren't gonna like you, and you just have to get used to that. There's just, because you're the one pushing people to get work done. You're the one asking, how long is it gonna take for you to get this thing that you need to get done? How long is it going to take you to wire? How long is it going to take for this camera setup? How long do you need for lighting right now? You're always the one asking questions, and you're always you're the one keeping people forward, and they think it's like really, really annoying. But when you make your 12-hour day and you get what you need to get, then they're like, okay, maybe she's a decent AD, and then they have respect for you. There's just a way to talk to people. There's no need to be nasty. There's no need to be, the last shoot I was on, I kind of lost my shit because some of my PAs were like not having it, and I was like, why am I repeating myself 15 times? So like, I get it why ADs lose their shit because I've lost my shit as an AD. You just have to have a team that you trust, and once you gel with your team, it gets smoother from there, which is good. And then plus they have pressure coming from the producers and the people above them, and they have a director saying, I need this, this, and this, and then you have DPs and other people saying, hey, we can't do that. There's a lot of push and pull, and the AD kind of brings it all together. So, not I think that's a better look at what an AD does. So that's it. That's for being a first AD, and if anyone has any questions about that, or I'm always curious on how other ADs do prep work, or how they break down their schedule. I write mine out, and I use Magic Movie Schedule or whatever. I use that program, but I write everything out first, and I don't know other ADs that do that, or what other methods people have for like breaking things down, especially complicated scripts or scripts with like no scenes. Because I recently was on a short film. It was I think 14, 15 pages, but they broke it up. It was like 7 and 7 pages now, but there's like no scenes, there's no cuts, it's all in one room, and I was like, how am I gonna break this down? I thought it was like impossible, but we did it. I don't even know how we did it. It was just crazy. um it was me and the DP pretty much just plugging away. It was crazy, but yeah. So if other ADs see this and they think I'm full of shit, I mean, I'm a very very new AD. I'm not like a AD that have been out there on feature films for like 20, 30 years. So obviously I'm just starting out. I'm coming from like a camera assistant background and in a set PA background. So I'm still small potatoes, obviously, but I am, working my way up, I guess. So that is it for being an AD.